Today we explore Fra Angelico's Annunciation, one of the most beautiful expressions of faith and art from the early Renaissance. Painted between 1438 and 1447 in the Dominican Convent of San Marco in Florence, this fresco was not created for a gallery but for a cloister of friars, who would pass by it daily on their way to prayer. Fra Angelico, born Guido di Pietro, was himself a Dominican, and his art was a form of devotion. He painted not merely to decorate walls, but to guide the soul toward contemplation of divine mysteries. In this scene, Fra Angelico does something revolutionary for his time. Earlier Annunciations often showed Mary enthroned indoors, distant and formal. Here, she is seated on a simple stone bench in an open loggia, and the angel approaches her with a quiet reverence. The architecture frames the encounter, creating a sense of sacred space, while allowing natural light and perspective to give the scene depth and life. Every detail is filled with meaning. The enclosed garden behind Mary, known as the Hortus Conclusus, symbolizes her purity. Mary's posture is humble and receptive, her arms crossed in submission to God's will. Yet her face carries what art historian Grace Johnstone has called a disquieted gaze, a delicate tension between fear and faith, reminding us that this was not an easy yes, but a moment of profound courage. Placed in a hallway where friars would stop to pray, the fresco was meant to shape their own response to God's call, reminding them of humility, obedience, and trust. Fra Angelico's mastery of color and light adds to the meditative atmosphere. The luminous blue of Mary's robe, painted with costly lapis lazuli, honors her as Queen of Heaven, while the angel's wings shimmer with soft, iridescent hues that suggest the glory of heaven touching earth. This painting was so influential that it became a model for later Renaissance artists, setting a new standard for how the Annunciation could be imagined, no longer as a distant, symbolic scene but as an intimate, human moment charged with spiritual significance. Fra Angelico's Annunciation is more than a fresco. It is a prayer in color and form, a meditation on divine grace entering the human story. Even today, it invites us to pause, reflect, and like Mary, open our hearts to say yes to God's call.